In this video, I'm going to show you how we helped Welcome to the Love Club, a premium fashion brand, go from 11K a month to over 108K a month in just 60 days at a 4.15 ROAS without running a single flash sale and without cutting the price of any of their hero products. This is the story of how they broke the ceiling they'd been stuck at over a year. And along the way, we sold out their core products more than once, and I'll break it down for you step by step. So first, quick context on who Welcome to the Love Club is. They're a global premium clothing brand, best known for their Kim sets. Beautifully designed, matching sets, positioned at a higher price point than fashion brands in their category. And the founder is Sabrina. She built the brand with strong fundamentals, a loyal customer base, healthy profit margins around 20%, sometimes 25%, depending on the seasonality, and a clear premium positioning. This wasn't a struggling brand. It was a good business that had hit a scaling wall. Again, and we've managed to go from 11K to 108K in 60 days. And here's what Sabrina said about working with us. And I want to be honest, this one means a lot to me. There are partners who provide a service and there are partners who give us peace of mind. This team belongs to both categories. I trust them completely, both professionally and personally. Leonardo is something I hold in enormous admiration and respect. What they do look like magic, but I know that behind that magic there's a lot of talent, hard work, and dedication. What I want to point out, that code is what she didn't say. She didn't say they got me great ROAS or they made me a lot of money, even though both are true. She said we gave her peace of mind, and for a premium brand founder who'd been running ads for over a year without a clear route to scale, peace of mind is worth as much as the revenue. I know the revenue is what makes the needle move, but that's the kind of relationship you can only build when both sides are showing up fully. The numbers we just walked through, the 108 a month at 4.15 ROAS, the sold out products, those are the outcome. But the reason we could get there and the reason we are still working together 18 months in is because of the trust behind those numbers. So what was holding them back? Three things. First, no clear route to scale. They were testing things, but not the way that compounded. Every time they find something that worked, pushing budget behind it would break the numbers. Second, and this is a really human one, the fear of scaling. When your ad account has broken every time you've tried to push it, you naturally start to shrink your ambition. You start scaling in tiny increments or not at all. And third, the discount trap was looming because the obvious solution the industry pushes on brands like this is run a flash sale. Do a big promo, discount your way to volume. But Sabrina had built a premium brand. Discounting her hero products would have permanently damaged the brand's positioning. So the real challenge became, can we scale this account meaningfully without ever touching the discount lever? Here's what we did. Three main things. And none of them were what you'd expect. First, we isolated the markets that were already running. When we dug into their historical data, we saw that a handful of specific countries were consistently outperforming the average. Instead of spreading budget evenly across all their markets like the account was doing before, we pulled those winning countries into their own dedicated campaigns. That meant clearer data, clearer scaling, and way less risk. Second, and this one surprised even us, we reactivated their strong assets from the previous year, their single best performing ad from a year earlier. We switched it back on, even though some of the products in that ad were out of stock. Here's what we found. At a scale, the accumulated social proof and trust on an ad, the likes, the comments, the shares, beats a perfectly aligned new creative. That reactivated and became one of their top performers all over again. And third, we found a way of scale with an offer without discounting the hero product. We launched a 25% off the discount item mechanic. That lifted average order value, made the funnel more efficient, and gave customers a reason to buy more, without ever cutting the price of the flagship Kim set. The premium positioning stayed intact. So what actually happened? Within 16 days, monthly revenue went from 11 to 108K. That's roughly 10x. Their previous ceiling was around 36K, and it was tripled in a single month. And crucially, ROAS at scale was 4.15, and net profit margin held at around 20%, same profitability, way more revenue. And there's the part I love telling founders about. Demand grew so fast that we actually sold out some of their core products. That's a real signal, not just of paid performance, but of a brand people want more of. The ads didn't just scale revenue, they scaled desire. Here's what I wanted to notice on the Shopify view. This isn't a spike. It's not one hot month followed by a return to baseline. We've now been working with Sabrina for over 18 months. The account continues to perform at levels the brand had literally never reached on its own. That's the difference between a lucky campaign and the system. The thing that stuck with me from that first conversation, she said she'd been scared that scaling meant cheapening the brand, and instead she watched her revenue grow 10x while her brand stayed exactly where she wanted to be. So here's the lesson from this case study. And honestly, the reason I love telling this story, not every growth story needs discounts. There's a lot of pressure in the fashion right now to grow through promotions, flash sales, and discount calendars. And it works. Don't get me wrong, until it doesn't. Until it trains your customer to only buy at 30% off. Until it strips the brand of what made it premium in the first place. And what Welcome to the Love Club proved is that a premium brand can scale on fundamentals, structural market selection, reactivated social proof, sustainable offers that lift AOV without touching the hero product's price, and demand strong enough to sell out core products at full price. That's what a system built for premium brands look like. We also have some funny messages exchanges with Sabrina team, Diogo, Sabrina, and our team as well. So the only reason why we didn't make more of those sales was because they got out of stock. So we had to restock everything in 2 weeks and try to sell it again. And actually this was one of the problems of their brand. They were actually not prepared to have that many sales. So we've helped them create new products as well for seasonality, and we've established a system capable of predicting the stock and how much we should order before we get out of stock on any item. So if you are running a D2C fashion or apparel brand between 1 million and 10 million in revenue, and you are spending on Meta, but growth isn't reflecting what your brand actually capable of, that's exactly the situation we are specialized in. Book a free Meta audit call using the link below this video. It's a 60-minute call, no pitch. You will leave with a clear view of where the growth is hiding in the current ad spend, whether or not we end up working together. Thanks for watching.